So, I have been wanting to post a video on Steven Crowder for the longest time since I've seen his videos on YouTube, because I see a lot of his thumbnails and they're just super annoying and he needs to be called out on his shit. So I really hope that he watches this video. So if you can somehow send this to him, tag him in it, that'd be great. Please do it. Feel free to copy the link and email it to him, DM it to him, whatever the case may be, whatever you need to do. I support you 100%. He makes lots of videos that fit his narrative, and he likes to go to universities and talk to students and make women uncomfortable, because he talks about how abortion should not be a thing, and how male privilege is not a thing, and how white privilege is not a thing. He talks about Black Lives Matter being an Antifa movement type of, like, basically just saying that it's useless when it's not, and it needs to be promoted. So for those of you that don't know who Steven Crowder is, oh god. He is a Republican, typical white male, privilege ass, fucking against LGBTQ community, against Black Lives Matter, against everything that is progressive and needs to be talked about in this country today. So this video is about veganism though, because if you're new to this channel, I'm a vegan. Of course, I'm probably gonna get a lot of his fans and all of that in my hate comments. I'm used to hate comments, I love them. Feel free to leave as many as you would like. It helps with monetization. So in this video, I'm reacting to his video called Exposed. Veganism is worse for the planet! Exclamation point, louder with Crowder. He likes to think that he's a comedian. I'm sorry, love, you're not. You need to find a new career, because this is just not working out for you. I have been like so shocked at the fact that he has 5 million subscribers. Literally, this just proves how racist, how unprogressive, how hateful this country is, and how we need to change it. So let's get into this video. Excuse the foul language, excuse the anger that I will be letting out in this video. I just hate this man with a passion, and I can't wait for him to be off of YouTube altogether. So let's get into the video. Now let's get into this horrible fucking video.
Let's move on to the topic at hand. Yes. Lest you need a new reason to disdain veganism. In CNN, there was a recent, did you see the climate town hall?
Yeah.
By the way, they're doing an LGBTQ town hall.
What?
For LGBT issues.
Oh, that'll be
like
fun.
What?
You see what I'm saying? Like, just ignorant, just like, he thinks he's so funny, and so do these other men in this room. Making fun of the LGBTQ community is fucking disgusting and should not be tolerated. But once again, this is his narrative.
Competing in women's mixed martial arts, number 1 and 2 track and field stars are men competing in women's sports.
This is how you know that he's just like so miserable. He's worried about what other people do with their lives. If you want to compete in a women's sport, do it. Fucking who cares about what this fucking dumbass low life thinks? He is just mad because he can't play sports, or he's not talented at anything. All he does is hate on people, and this is...
Can take a dump anywhere you want, practically. You don't even have to go into a restaurant anymore. No one's gonna say anything.
This is so funny because he wants to talk about privilege, but this is a white, rich male that made money off of making fun of other people, making fun of minorities, making fun of the LGBTQ community. And this is how he makes a living, basically bashing people and their life views, but whatever.
I mean, marriage is way down the list, because that's a what issues? All right, anyway, so...
What issues? Let's get into some of the issues that the LGBTQ community faces. So a couple things. People in the LGBTQ community always have to deal with homophobic people, including the president, as well as other Republican conservative people that are against the LGBTQ community, and they are openly against them. People in the LGBTQ community always deal with hate crimes. They are often raped, beat up, killed, etc. There's so many cases of people in the LGBTQ community that have been killed, dealt with police brutality. The list goes on. Don't be ignorant.
Climate town hall. Yeah. The debates, of course, which we covered for people who missed the stream. Democrats have been presenting a laundry list of things they want to stop Americans from doing this.
As they should.
And among these is eating meat. It's not just the DNC, by the way. You've been hearing this for a long time.
You know, the UN just released a study.
Andrew Yang is great.
Hey, if the vast majority of the world goes vegetarian immediately, from using a straw to eating a burger,
we're all going to
part of the problem?
In a certain way, yes. Are we prepared to deal with the health and environmental consequences of maintaining current levels
definitely
of
reading
red
something.
meat and dairy product consumption?
Some of it is with light bulbs, some of it is on straws, some of it, dang, is on cheeseburgers, right?
It's also polluting. It's the number one
librarian.
Natalie Portman is the queen. Love her.
1 day a week. 1 day without eating animal products.
And you can look like me.
And have a huge impact.
Look, just hateful. Like, shut the fuck up.
In helping maintain that delicate balance.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
And go meat free on Mondays.
Who are those other two broads in there? It's like they put in a line
I
supervisor.
recognize one of them, but I can't pick her out.
We need someone to fill this out because it's a little too white
show.
male-y, even though you know it's the single highest grossing musician of all time.
It's funny that he's saying that, but literally everyone in his like bullshit ass man cave is a white male.
Sorry, women.
Take the second AD, just toss her in there.
I think she was in Good Wife.
Do I need any makeup? No, you're good. You're next to Paul McCartney. No one's gonna know.
Like literally, he is not funny at all. At all.
So obviously the main point here is they're all hypocrites.
He's still alive.
But that doesn't make an argument. So hold your nose. Here comes.
Okay, let me just start off by saying, as a vegan, ex-meat eater, I used to eat meat, and there are pictures of me online, I'm pretty sure, that my family has taken at, you know, reunions, birthdays, quinceañeras, etc., of me eating meat. Do I talk about veganism? Do I promote veganism now that I am vegan, now that I've learned from what I used to do? Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Changing is a great thing, and being able to put yourself out there and talk about issues and how you can solve them is amazing. Fucking shut up and understand that these people actually care about something and you don't.
Veganism, this is something you don't hear a lot, is potentially much worse for the planet.
This is so false.
Reason one, sustainability. A lot of people, I talked about this with Lee R. Keith a long time ago. Topsoil erosion.
Yeah.
So, do we say omnivorous? Is that
omnivorous? Yes.
Omnivorous, yeah, omnivorous. Omnivorous farming is actually a lot more sustainable than the vegan model. So globally, we have, I want to make sure I get this right, 25 to 40 billion tons of topsoil are lost every year to erosion. Mainly.
I want to know what article he's reading this from, because this is the most false information, and I can see how his fucking uneducated minions love this. Like, Republican, conservative, white racist men love this shit. They see this and they're like, we can go with this. Steven Crowder, yes, we can comment our racist ass comments. We can comment about how we hate vegans. We can eat meat in front of them. Let's fucking, like...
plowing, intense cropping.
Yeah.
In the UK, the topsoil depletion is so bad that the farmers think they may actually never be able to harvest that land at all. Again.
Wow. Yeah.
And how do you combat this? This is something a lot of people, you won't hear from Paul McCartney in AD number 1 and 2. One of them was a photographer, really was an Instagram model.
Had to be.
I like her butt.
We need her in the
We're gonna show I like her butt when she does the twerk.
Just not funny. Not funny. Like, if you're gonna be offensive, at least try and be funny. This is like literally just painful to watch. Just painful. Painful.
Basically, what you need to do is leave it for the animals, and then we eat those animals.
Leave it for the animals and don't kill them. Don't slice their throats. Don't hang them upside down. Don't pull the pig's tails off. Don't rape the women cows to make your nasty ass milk that you do not need, that is not meant for you. That's why lactose intolerant is a thing, because milk, animal milk, is not meant for humans. It's meant for baby cows and baby goats. It is not meant for humans.
Yeah, and there have been quite a few studies that show vegan diets are less sustainable, by the way, than omnivorous diets.
Yeah, articles bashing vegans because they know that eating meat is wrong. They feel bad deep down inside, because before I was vegan, I used to always feel attacked. When I saw a vegan online or on Instagram, whatever the case may be, talking about how bad eating meat is, of course I felt attacked because it's something that I did. And then when I realized that I was the issue and I took myself out of the problem, wow, I've saved thousands of animals just for being vegan for a short amount of time. It's crazy what changing and understanding that you're wrong can do for the environment.
And before we move on to other reasons, hit the notification bell. Join up at mugclubladderwithbutter.com.
Please don't hit the notification
bell. You get access to the full daily show, which you're not seeing here. So another reason that veganism might be worse for the environment, people don't think about this. It's often overlooked. The importation of foods. Yeah. Here's what people don't realize. Vegans are not advocates.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm sorry. I was gonna wait till he finished, but I can't. The transportation of fruits and vegetables, and of course vegans like me like to eat plant-based meats. Not everywhere in the world do they have plant-based meats available, right? So if we were to live on a grains diet with fruits and vegetables, we could use the land that all of these animals that are forced to be born on, meaning the cows are raped and forced to have multiple children for the meat and dairy industry, and then are killed off once they're useless. If we didn't force them to have lots of babies, first of all, we wouldn't have to deal with overcrowding or not having space for growing crops. Okay, so if we were to stop that whole process of making animals have lots of babies, we could use all of that land to make fruits and vegetables. And I don't know if you know this, let's just quickly look up an estimate of how big cows are. How much do cows weigh? Is about 1,210 pounds. Okay, so if you have small fruits and vegetables, I was gonna get something from the kitchen, I'm not, because this is just gonna be too much. If I had an apple, okay, how many apples could I plant? How many cornfields could I have if there wasn't a cow covering that space? You know what I mean? If we had apples that made up 2,000 pounds, we wouldn't have to do a lot of transporting of fruits and vegetables. We could easily plant them anywhere. There's grass everywhere. So this is just like, this is literally so fucking dumb. You can plant fruits and vegetables and whatever else the case may be. You can make plant-based meats in labs that don't take up farm space and that don't kill animals and that don't promote raping animals in the industry. Also, can we just talk about in third world countries, and before we had civilization, we were not everyday eating meat. That's why I don't understand why people are like, well, I'm just eating like my ancestors did. I'm eating meat. I'm doing whatever they get. No, your ancestors were not eating meat every day because guess what? They didn't have guns. They weren't able to constantly get animals all the time. It's not like they were everywhere. They had to hunt for them. And when they did hunt for them, it was only a certain amount of people that were willing to hunt for them because they didn't want to die. Okay, most, and even today, like I said, in third world countries, people aren't eating meat every day like us privileged-ass Americans. So this is fucking ridiculous. I need to charge my MacBook, I'm sorry.
The point is they want a varied diet and it requires a lot of food like quinoa, avocados. They be imported, often from countries. People in the world are eating animals. So you got to decide how they kill those animals. That being said, people in the world are growing vegetables. You don't have control over how they grow them in Mexico. When we talk about oil, you don't have control over what they do in Saudi Arabia or in these places in the Middle East that I think sometimes I feel like we should just make look like Kel-El's bachelor pad.
It ends up being just as bad, but they're taking your kind of your right to choose in the process, right?
Funny that they're talking about the right to choose, but they're all pro-life. So you're talking about the right to choose, but you're not giving women the right to choose what they want to do with their bodies because they are the ones having children and not you.
What products and services that you want to be able to use, right? And by mandating, you have to do something like this. No, it's better for the economy, and I think we're going to get to a point.
By the way, it's go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the interesting things is so what we're saying is that it's more. There's a moral imperative to no longer eat fish. There's a moral imperative to not eat meat because of the harm it causes to the environment and to the animals themselves. But we're not ever going to consider the millions of animals that are killed when there's widespread crop planting. I mean, there's like when you kill these fields, you...
Okay, first of all, I wanted to talk about this in a separate video, but during the farming process, yes, animals are killed simply because when people are on tractors and are, going through fields, they don't always see the animals because, the grass can be too high, whatever the case may be. So yes, some animals are killed. Comparing the small amount of animals that are killed to the masses that are killed every year, I would rather a little bit than millions of animals worldwide dying simply because of someone purposely killing them. My dog is dreaming.
Do it.
But by the way, we're talking about this. It's so bad now that countries like Mexico, Kenya, they've completely depleted their supply of certain foods. And this is exactly why we need to build a wall. Okay? I don't... Stop.
It's the avocados.
I cannot...
Fucking the racism. Like, it just does not even care. It does not faze him. This is so ignorant.
Tom Selleck. Did you know that Tom Selleck was stealing water in California when they weren't allowed to use... Yeah.
Whatever.
the environment. Eating venison from a deer you bagged yourself, or eating meat from your local yak farm, for all I know. Or fixing yourself $20 toast with avocados that were grown in Mexican tap water and tossed into trucks to travel 2,500 miles.
So I just wanted to quickly add, because I just realized this part of the video, I guess I wasn't paying attention all of the way. He said that vegans would rather eat avocados that were made with tap water in Mexico. First of all, why does he make it sound like there's something wrong with Mexico? Second of all, a lot of the vegetables that you eat come from Mexico, and I'm pretty sure you eat avocados. This is the main thing that pisses me off about meat eaters. They always act like vegans are the only ones that eat vegetables. Everybody eats vegetables and they're good for everybody. So regardless, you eating avocados from Mexico, which once again, most to all avocados come from Mexico. So you just sound like a dumbass. I also, in this video, did not mention immigration and how he feels on people that are illegal. I don't like saying that word because no one is illegal to me, but he is very racist and thinks that people are illegal and that they shouldn't be here, which is very annoying. I'm pretty sure he eats Mexican food and loves Mexican music and knows a lot of Mexican people that are whitewashed.
Yeah.
That's not even a question at that point. Come on.
Well, it is a question for some folks. That's why I asked.
They're idiots.
And I
That's what
answered
I'm
it
saying.
myself. They're not idiots. Don't insult
Yes,
their
they
audience.
are.
Stop it. He's on drugs and I've had enough of it. Reason number
Okay, let's just talk about that for a second. So I always get the argument from meat eaters on my Instagram, on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I post a lot of controversial videos there. People often say, well, I kill my own animals that I eat. Whatever. I find my own chicken, whatever the case may be. First of all, that does not make it better. I don't know why people use that argument. The animal does not want to die for you to eat. The animal does not want to die to be forgotten 5 minutes later when you're done with your fucking meal at dinner. That is like saying, I'm gonna kill my dog simply because I'm hungry and I want something to eat and my ancestors ate meat, so I need it. No, you don't. You can get the perfect amount of protein from eating vegetables, fruit, because let's just start off there actually. Animals, where do they get their protein from? Where do cows get their protein from? Cows do not eat meat. Do you see how big they are? Okay? They do not need meat to live. You are, let's say, an average human, I'm not gonna say the average weight because I wouldn't know, are not 2,000 pounds, okay? And you do not need to eat meat. I don't know how many other arguments I need to come up with. You are not a cow, you do not need milk. You are not a lion because you can't kill an animal with your bare hands. You need a gun. You do not live in an environment where that's all that you can eat. Lions cannot go to the fucking grocery store and say, I'm gonna pick out what I want to eat today. No, they live in the fucking wild and that's all they can eat. They're carnivores. Humans are not carnivores.
carbon emissions. A lot of people don't consider that farming land for crops releases more carbon from the for grazing. Anyway, it's just another example of climate change not considering the reality of the alternatives.
That's a fucking lie.
They just don't think about it at all.
We talked about this last week, the cotton bags, organic cotton bags. Yeah. You'd have to use that cotton bag 20,000 times to break even Good luck. With a plastic bag environment. That means that if you went grocery shopping for over about 380 years, we did the math. So another reason.
This is so fucking ignorant. Why are these people angry that people want to make a change for the future generations? Wilson and I, me and my boyfriend, when we go grocery shopping here in Austin, they do not give you grocery bags. Okay, you have to pay for them. So even if we didn't, I just like reusing my grocery bags. I grew up doing that. My family uses them as trash bags, whatever, you can always reuse trash bags. There's nothing wrong with that. Every time I go to the grocery store, I bring my old grocery bags just because, especially with the coronavirus, no one wants to get bags from the store. That's just, what?
Protect and to create these crop yields.
Yeah, it's a thing.
A lot of vegans may not realize this. Do you know how it's 20, especially certain grains like wheat, I don't know if it's corn.
That's not true.
Results in 25 times more sentient animals being killed per kilogram of usable protein.
Listen, the amount of animals killed in the meat industry by the second are thousands, hundreds of thousands a second. So that compared to the little amount, once again, the small amount of animals that are killed during farming crops is little to none. Lots of animals are not killed. This is so false. This is actually cringy.
Yeah, but that's just too gay. No. That's a bridge that I'm not willing to cross.
This is so homophobic. racist.
Unsustainable.
I really thought when you said we could solve this problem, you were
Disgusting.
just going to kill the vegans. I thought that.
Yeah, because joking about killing vegans is so normal. Wow, that is so normal. Wow. You are such a great person for saying that we should kill humans. This is exactly meat eaters, not all of them, but some of them that are like this are just heartless, unempathetic, psychopathic humans. If you do not see the issue with killing someone, with killing innocent animals, with killing small animals as an issue, you have psychopathic traits. It has been scientifically proven, but once again, Republicans don't believe in science, so.
People who are experimenting with
Is that
cannibalism.
too far?
Yeah.
That's an option. Well, I think there's a natural progression there, right? If you're not willing to eat animals, you're willing to eat things that you consider less than animals, which apparently humans are less important
Okay.
than animals.
I don't know. I feel like we're putting...
It's not that humans are less important. Vegans feel that we're equally the same, and I don't think there's anything wrong with realizing that our DNA is not that far off from animals, and we are all the same. We are put here just because humans are more, advanced in terms of technology and civilization, does not mean that we are greater than animals. So that's just a fucking dumbass argument. Once again, all of these arguments just fit their narrative and make them feel better about themselves when they're wrong.
in their mouth at this point. I don't want to do the Young Turks thing where you're like, I want to be cannibals. I'm thinking I'm much rather than that. I think you like kale and hydroponics. And you're good. Okay, fine. In Australia,
First of all, it's not just vegans that eat kale, okay? Every person, for the most part, eats some fruits and vegetables. At least you're supposed to. So just to say, oh, I think you like hydroponics and kale. Like, wow, oh my God. Who doesn't fucking like kale?
by the way, billions of animals deliberately killed every year.
Yeah.
Deliberately. This is just to protect fruit and vegetable crops for
Yeah.
human consumption. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't even think about this. This is verifiable.
Yeah.
And I get it that you're saying, well, they're not as cute as a cow and they're small because, screw the city mouse who went out to the country.
As a cow. This is so, what's the word? This is so hypocritical. So you're talking about ducks and other smaller animals. Like, oh, I get they're not as cute as a cow. This is exactly how vegans feel when you talk about how cute your dog is or how cute your home animal is, but yet you kill cows. Because cows and pigs, right, they're not considered house animals, so people don't respect them like they do dogs.
Far less land than cattle. So that's something that's just kind of a cultural deal. We don't use goats as much. There are little solutions like this.
Yeah.
I do think, though, this is important to note. When you look at the town hall, and how long was it? 7 hours, the climate change town hall, and you look how often they're talking about it. It's that this neo-environmentalism and veganism. It's not that it's pro-animal. We all love it. Anti-human. Yeah.
We all love animals, but we kill them and slaughter them and eat them and separate them from their children. Sounds like a psychopath to me.
These are the same people. A lot of people don't understand this. These are the same people who lobbied and created the trans fat epidemic in this country. So, for example, McDonald's, they used to use tallow for fries. After lobbying from vegetarians to the USDA, they switched to hydrogenated vegetable oils because it was healthier. Right? A lot of people don't. It started off with the agenda that they wanted to get more Americans on a vegetarian diet. The same thing for the vilification of eggs, dietary cholesterol, saturated fat. A lot of misinformation regarding dietary cholesterol and the saturated fat was because of the vegetarian lobby and their agenda above truth. And they're doing the same thing now. Is instead of what really bothers me is when they say that Republicans are anti-science because we say, hold on a second, wait a second.
You literally talk about how you're anti-science all the fucking time. We don't have to say anything.
Burgers or make them ungodly expensive because of something you believe. You're living in a world of what if with climate change. Well, you're anti-science. Hold on a second. Do you believe that if someone is born a man but he cuts off...
Okay, the reason that vegetarian products are more expensive, sadly, which fits what you want, you shouldn't be mad that they're more expensive because you don't want people to go vegan, and that helps the fact because if it's more expensive, people aren't going to want to buy it. However, vegans are willing to buy it simply because they want that change, and if more people were to go vegan, it would be cheaper because the demand would be higher.
Now it's just hate speech. What happened to science? Why are we murky in the rule book? What happened to science when we're talking about carbon emissions here? Right now, instead of claiming that their dogmatic diet is better for you, which is what we saw with vegetarians in the 60s and 70s, they are now playing the same misleading angle on the American public by trying to convince them to take this diet up. Not because it's better for you, but because it's better for the planet. Well, guess what? We found out that it wasn't necessarily better for you.
First of all, it is better for you for many reasons, but no one is forcing anybody anybody to do anything. However, meat eaters, you can look on YouTube, on Instagram, etc. There are plenty of meat eaters that make videos going to vegan festivals, eating animal products in front of them, or people trying to get vegans to eat animal products, or whatever the case may be. So that is very ignorant to say, first of all. Second of all, if anything, meat eaters push their narrative way farther than vegetarians and vegans do. It is okay for a meat eater to talk down on vegans and to be hateful to vegans, but as soon as a vegan comes out and says how they feel and that eating meat is wrong and that animals, you know, deserve empathy, we're considered crazy, we're considered, you know, outcasts and all of that, just because we want to save animals. Okay, so thank God we're done with the video. Thoughts on it? It was horrible. Him and everyone else in that room are super uneducated on veganism and what vegans are actually trying to do for the environment. They're confused on climate change. They're confused on lots of things, and they say that we're the ones that don't believe in science, but Republicans are the ones that don't believe in science. And obviously they don't believe in climate change and how us eating and the way that we treat animals can affect the environment. Speaking of the coronavirus wouldn't be around if those animals weren't contained in the wet market the way that they were, and they wouldn't have formed a disease. So although it may not come from eating animals, which I doubt, it does come from the way that we kill and contain animals. So if you are not vegan, I suggest that you watch my Why You Should Go Vegan video, because it is very informative and I spend a lot of time on it. I will put it somewhere. I will put it up so that you can watch it at the end of this video and in the description. Please check it out. It is very helpful for anyone trying to go vegan. I grew up in a Mexican household. All of my family are heavy meat eaters, as well as my boyfriend's family, and we decided to go vegan ourselves, and some people look down on it and some people appreciate that we're trying to make the change, and I think that everybody should make that change. It's not hard. There's plenty of plant-based foods that you can eat, and you can still get your protein, so it's great. Being vegan is great. Your body feels better every morning. You feel like a better person. You just feel better. There's nothing else really to add on to that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, please send it to Steven Crowder. I would love for him to see this video, even for him to make a reaction video so that I can make another video on this, just because I want him to see how uneducated he is and how hateful that he is, and he needs to be called out, like I said in the beginning. And I really hope that he is off of YouTube one day. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I'm going to be doing a lot more reaction videos. My next person that I want to make a reaction video on is Caitlin Bennett, because I also hate her to death, and she is extremely uneducated on politics, and I can't wait for that. So feel free to turn on the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I do that. I also post vegan cooking videos, so if you are interested in converting to a vegan, I got you.